Mariette's on the move. What? Mariette's on the move.
I'm back. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I am super excited to be back. I am jazzed up. I am ready to go. And if you know me, that's a big deal lately because I have to apologize first and foremost because I was on a break. Like Ross said, it was a break. It was supposed to be a couple weeks and it lasted about 6 months. And in that time, I don't think this is going to shock anybody, but I moved. Not once, but twice. I had a very humbling first move from Charlotte to Carmel, Indiana. I had everything from the house that I was buying out there fall through a week before my movers were coming, to FEMA canceling the closing on my house in Charlotte because of the hurricanes, which we weren't impacted by, and a slight nervous breakdown. Kind of, what did I do? I moved into an apartment and I'm renting again, and all of the feels that came with that. And then I did a city POC there in Carmel, Indiana, which is outside of Indianapolis. And it was about 3 months. And I was coming to Chicago a lot. And I realized, you know what? I think I'm meant to take my moving journey full circle and go back home to sweet home Chicago. And that's what I did. So I bought a house by my parents, and I could not be happier. As you'll notice, I'm obviously not in my old studio. If you're watching this on YouTube, I am in my kitchen, my new kitchen, and we're going to be building a studio in my garage. So that's exciting. I'm going to take you guys through what that's all about. I'm building a sound booth because I'm going to be leaning into my voiceovers, which I absolutely love doing. Obviously, I love this podcast and, talking about moving all the time, especially after having like the worst move of your life and the best move of your life. Like literally, you guys, this move to Chicago was so flipping smooth. I can't even, it was like the perfect end to the moving journey. And not to say that I'm not going to move out of this house. Eventually I probably will, and probably get something with bigger bathroom and, all my clothes in one closet. But I love this little house, and I love that I get to build a studio. And who knows, maybe I will live here forever, but who knows, right? What I do know is that the moving across country bug is officially out of my system. You heard it here. It is officially out of my system. It is the worst ever. But when it's good, it can be the best ever. So, moving sucks. It just doesn't have to. And that's kind of why I'm changing this show. So today I'm going to update you on all of the changes. Like I said, this is probably going to be a shorty. I'm probably going to keep this to, 15 minutes max. But I have a couple things coming for you, the moving family. And I'm going to fill you in. So I have left Rogue Media, which was the network that Mariette's on the Move was on before. It was a very amicable move. I just decided, and I love those guys. Shout out to Mike Hamilton and Matthew and all my friends over there. They were great. But what I decided was I wanted to take back control of my podcast, my business, and not to say that they were ever putting any parameters on me at all. They were not. They were very, very, very supportive. But as you know, I do travel a lot, and I want to be able to put stuff up when I want to put stuff up, and I don't like waiting on other people is what I realized myself. And I think it's time, especially because I really want to go big on this podcast. Experiencing what I experienced in the last 4 months, as of this recording, today is February 6th, and October 5th, I moved out of my house in Charlotte. And since then, like experiencing all the highs and lows and emotional and financial and all of the things that I experienced, like I feel more compelled now more than ever to get this information out into the world. Everything from like, I had to have my friend Jody, we call her Jodilla. I love her so much. I had to have her go to my old apartment because, some of my subscriptions didn't get switched. Even though like I switched the address on the account, I didn't switch the subscription, like silly stuff like that. Like just a reminder, like little tips and tricks that you need to remember when you move, or things that, leading up to a move, or like, how the grief feels after you move, whether it's a good move or not. Right. So I feel like this is really important and impactful. And I spent a lot of time in the last couple seasons doing interviews, and I had some absolutely incredible guests. And I am so grateful for the time that they gave me, the things that we talked about. But when it comes down to it, I felt like I was losing some of the educational side of what I originally wanted this podcast to be about. And I was moving that more to other topics. So I am probably going to archive a lot of the episodes that were in the past, and when it's relevant or something's happening in the world, I will bring those back as kind of a classic version. Or if I go on vacation and I just don't want to record something that week, I might do that too. But I think I'm going to spend a lot more time doing solo episodes and really just hone in on what you need to know, right? The other thing I'm going to do is I'm bringing back the coaching. I had coached many people through their moves, and I just find so much joy in helping somebody decide whether they should stay or should go. And a lot of people are surprised when I tell them that it's okay not to move, and I give them permission to file that dream of, moving to whatever city that they've had hanging over their head for the last 20 years, and stay and be content where they are, and maybe make some changes in their home, or get gazelle intense about, saving and selling all the stuff in their house and moving to whatever that dream city is. But I think it's a good mix of 50-50 on people that were actually moving and people that actually stayed. And I think that's so incredibly important, because we in our brains get hooked on something and then we don't let it go. And at least I don't. That's, the experience that some of the people that I had been coaching. So the tips and tricks are things like the city POC I did. Like, thank goodness the house that I was buying fell through, and thank goodness I was able to find a great apartment building to rent in temporarily. Although it wasn't really temporary. I signed a year lease and I broke that, and it was a lot of money to get out of that. So we're going to talk about that on an episode as well. But what I'm going to start doing, and I have a form that I put on my newly revamped website, which I'm also changing the website. You can get to it currently on marriottsonthemove.com. But I'm changing the website to decidingtomove.com, because it is so much easier to remember than figuring out how to spell Marriott. So I could have done like Trixie. That's my Starbucks name. Anyway, so what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, so on the website, before you have the link to get to, Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube. I'm actually on like everything now. I've updated that as well. I newly moved over to Buzzsprout. When I moved away from Rogue Media, I moved to Buzzsprout, which is a really cool, thank you, Amy Fagan, for giving me the referral. Buzzsprout is a really cool hosting platform that's going to allow me to do like a paywall. So if there's like specific content just for, people in a group, if I want to do a membership, or if I want to, I don't know, sell the digital course I've been writing for 3 years, things like that I'll be able to do. But I am going to, keep a lot of this content free because it's so important. And in that note, just for you, I'm putting a new ebook out there. It's called Moving for Smarties. And I am very, very proud of it. When you sign up for my email mailer right now, which again, I'm so sorry, I've been on a break. I hadn't done that for like 6 months, and it kind of felt really good to not like have to, come up with some brilliant content every week. But now I'm back, and so I'm gonna get that going again real soon. I don't know when, but it's gonna be soon. I promise. The Moving for Smarties ebook is honestly, you guys, like when I moved and was going through all the things, I was like, man, I should put this in there, and I should put this in there, and I should put this in there. And I took what I originally had around the Fred framework, And it is now, I think it's like 27 or 30 pages. It's got like little journal areas. It's got how to figure out how to move, like how to figure out where to move. It's got a ChatGPT prompt to find a neighborhood within the city that you want to move to. I've sent it to several people and they're like, oh, so how much are you charging for this? I'm like, it's going to be free. And they're like, you're an idiot. But you know what, you guys, I'm not in this for the money. Clearly, I haven't made to date a single cent on this podcast. I've spent a ton of money on it. But I just really feel so incredibly compelled to protect anybody out there that's even considering moving. I want to protect your heart. I want to protect your finances. I want you to live out your purpose from God. And I want you to feel like you made the right move and not feel the grief of the wrong move. And I think that I can get people in that place with on-air coaching. I can get people in that place through some of the solo wisdom that I'm going to provide. I really feel very strongly that this is not something that I should be charging for right now. I might make a bigger book down the road. I've already started copywriting and trademarking this book because I just think that it's something that people have asked me in various forms for. And I have no interest really in writing a memoir because, I mean, my brain is crap. I can't remember crap. So that being said, I told you I'd keep it under 15 minutes. The new solo episodes, I know I'm a talker, but I am actually going to try and keep them around the 20, 30-minute mark max, unless I'm doing an interview, which I have some really cool interviews that I am already lining up. I want to bring back the division chief of the Federal Moving Carrier Safety Administration. I need to start stalking and begging them to do that again because that took a while to get on the calendar, but man, was that powerful. I have a woman named Deborah Neiman who has a podcast about goats. You guys, I'm so obsessed with homesteading. I don't have a homestead. I live in the suburbs of Chicago. But I am obsessed with people that have chickens and goats, and more people, especially in this climate that we're in currently, are thinking about homesteading. And I think it's really important. Like Deborah and I, we met on an airplane on the way back from Podfest, which is something that myself, Amy Fagan, Vinny Potestivo, Natalie Luke, there was just a bunch of us that went. And we just learned all about content. Oh, John Lee Dumas. Oh my gosh, I should do a whole episode on my time, my walk with JLD. He has the podcast Entrepreneurs on Fire. And man, I just got such good information and such just love and support from him and Vinny Potestivo, who has a podcast called I Have a Podcast, which is he has like some real famous people on there. Like I think Beyonce's dad was on there or something. But he's just amazing. And like we had an amazing transformational moment. I had a dragonfly land on right between us. And that's like my sign for change and transformation. So like all these cool things that I can't wait to tell you guys about. Anyway, check out the coaching form if you want on-air coaching. It goes to my Gmail. So if you don't hear back from me, ping me on the website because that goes to my actual email. I got to figure out how to get that forwarded. But if you sign up for my email list, now, when I release Moving for Smarties, I'm just waiting on the copywriting and the trademarking to come through. Once that does, it's going to go out. So I will send it to everybody on my email list. But that is coming soon. You guys, I'm excited to be back. It feels good and it feels right. And I have a lot to share with you and I'm excited. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in a few weeks. Bye for now.
Marriott's on the move. What? Marriott's on the move.